Start, man! Oh, shit. Fuck.
Tommy Donlan is from Ballinasloe in County Galway. He's a journalist and he was recently shot in Palestine. He joins me live from Palestine, the Palestine West Bank village. He joins me on the line now. Tommy, good morning to you.
Yeah, all right, how are you now? Good morning.
Good morning to you. Thanks indeed for joining us today on the programme. Tommy, how long are you in Palestine, can I ask you?
Well, this trip is 2.5 months now. You come here for a 3 months duration, you know, as long as the visa lasts, it's 3 months, you know. But I've been here in 5 previous visits, all, you know, to document the human rights abuses or whatever, and of the Israelis, the occupation, and, you know, to record or document the protests and also highlights the shameful role, let's say, of CRH, our own homegrown CRH, is complicit in war crimes. It supplies the cement for the apartheid wall and for the settlements and the associated infrastructure, and also blood issue, where $1 billion, you know, according to the Israeli economist Yerhiver, you know, from the proceeds of the blood diamonds or whatever that Israel exports, approximately $1 billion goes into the occupation.
Okay, now you're there as a journalist and a cameraman, and do you feed stories then throughout the world from there?
Pardon?
I said you're there as a cameraman and a journalist. Do you feed stories then out of Palestine to other media outlets then as well? Well,
yeah, no, I'm not a journalist as such. I'm an activist journalist. You know, the height of my efforts would be YouTube and Facebook and that. But other people, other outlets have, you know, publicised my work. Let's say there's one of the best journalists here, Jonathan Cook, who lives in Nazareth, and I organised a protest here against, you know, there's a forthcoming visit here, an exhibition game with Barcelona. And,
okay,
you know,
so you would be an activist then, Tommy, then, and you'd be an activist who records and disseminates the information as you see it unfolding in front of your eyes then?
Oh, yeah, 1,000% activist, like, yeah.
Okay. So when were you shot then?
Well, the first time I was shot was in some 7 weeks ago in Nabi Saleh. You know, a soldier there deliberately targeted me with a rubber bullet and hit my upper right arm, and then Silwood was the worst case of all, where the same protest they shot me 5 times, you know.
And when did the shootings take place around the same time?
No, they were spread out over the. I was there for 5 hours, and you know I was wearing body armour. After Nabi Saleh, I bought some body armour, you know, that can repel an M16 bullet, let's say. But they were shooting up my ankles, and I was a sitting target, let's say. You know, I had a camera on a tripod, and I was a fish in a barrel, let's say. I had to attend to the camera. I was quite stationary at my post. I had to attend to the camera, zoom in, zoom out, and catch the action. So, you know, I was an easy target for them. And they just shot me repeatedly, and you know, that's what these people do here. You know.
Why didn't you leave the area then? Can I ask you?
Well,
why put your life in danger and sit there with your camera while they shoot at you?
Well, to put it like this, you know, it's in the scheme of things, they're small potatoes, because people have been, the Palestinians endure far more than I have or whatever.
No, and I appreciate that. You're an Irish citizen, you're from Ballinasloe, your heart is in the right place, you're doing so as an activist, as you said, but you're putting your life in danger.
Well, besides my heart, my body is in the right place as well. You know, given solidarity to the Palestinians and documenting the crimes of these bloody soldiers. And you know, I capture on video. It's up on YouTube. You know, the sniper, he gets on his knee and he's carefully lining me up in his gun sights, and he shoots, and you can hear the bullet, a so-called rubber bullet. It's a steel ball with a thin plastic coating, and it hits me in the ankle. And puts a hole in my flesh, like, or whatever. That was the last one. But, I didn't go there, actually, the next time. I mean, it was too dangerous for me. I hung in there, Mr. Tough Guy, I suppose, you know. But returning to Silwood, I haven't been there now in the 2 succeeding protests. I went elsewhere up to Kibra Kadoom.
And are you going to keep going, Tommy, until somebody kills you?
Well, you know, it was always that risky, you see. I always put myself in the front line, all of my 6 visits, you see. I always document with the video camera or whatever what's happening here. And by definition, I have to be up front and on the front line or whatever. But when it gets dangerous, you see, I just pull away, like I said, and I go elsewhere, you know.
And when are you coming home to Ballinasloe?
It'll be another 2 weeks now. The visa is nearly finished, and I have to return. You know.
Well, you came to our attention indeed because we had the ambassador, Mr. Boaz Modé, in the station with us, and one of your colleagues, indeed, well, a man who knows you, Greg Manahan, of iDirect Productions in Dublin, sent a very strong worded letter. As a journalist that covers the Middle East, I would like to ask, when it was agreed to interview the ambassador on your station, was it Galway Bay FM who requested the interview, or was the embassy's press office? Are you or your colleagues aware that a video photographer from Ballinasloe was shot 3 times and hospitalised by Israeli soldiers, striking him with rubber coated steel rounds and tear gas canisters? Tommy Donlan, 65-year-old cameraman who travelled to the West Bank to cover weekly protests against local Palestinian residents and Israeli human rights groups, called the illegal occupation of their village. And why wasn't the ambassador challenged on this? He wasn't challenged because I wasn't aware that you were there. But obviously, I mean, from what you're saying now, you go there as an activist, you go there to put up the video footage, but you're putting your life, according to the rest of the email here, you're putting your life in grave danger.
Well, it's not to deliberately do so, but per se or whatever, you know, there is a high risk here, as evidence there, and particularly in Silwood, and it wasn't 3 bullets, it was 5, and, you know, I wasn't hospitalised as such. I went into Fermanagh Hospital, you know, to get x-ray because my shin bone or whatever was hit, and, you know, there may be a fragment of bone or whatever, but everything was okay in that department, you know, but it is risky here. But I have the privilege of returning to Ireland, you see. The Palestinians don't, and even the village I stay here in Billeen, one has been shot dead, deliberately so, and the village up the road, Nileen, 5 have been shot dead, including an 11-year-old boy, and you know, they shot him in the head as he was running away from the occupation forces, and his brain came out, like horrific stories. And you know, when I'm in Ireland and I'm out in Shop Street or whatever with the group or whatever, or in Dublin with Ireland Palestine Solidarity campaign, you know, it is this angers me. Like, I have a conscience, will travel, let's say, and because my danger is you know, sort of minimal when it comes to what the Palestinian space is.
Okay.
You know, with very little coverage, and I get a few bullets into me or whatever, a few rubber bullets, and I'm sort of, you know, big news enough, or you know. But my viewpoint is it's small potatoes what happens to me here as such.
As against what happens to
in
people.
comparison with the Palestinians, yeah.
Well, listen, keep safe, and you're home in 2 weeks. Is there any chance that they could refuse to give you a visa again to go in there?
Yeah, very much so. Well, yeah, they're sort of high profile now on the monitor, the Facebook and all the social media, and
so
you know,
you may not be let back in again. All right, listen, Tommy Donlan, thanks indeed for taking our call in Palestine this morning. Be very careful, and maybe just stay out of the limelight just for a